Did you know that embracing your silver or gray is more than just a hair color change? It's a whole new way to embrace your unique beauty and personal style. And the way you style your silver or gray is not the only consideration. Today we're going to explore how the right colors, textures, and accessories can elevate your look and make your complexion pop. So whether you're fully silver, salt and pepper, or just transitioning, today I'll share tips on how to use color to complement your unique beauty. It's the ultimate style guide for silver and gray hair. If you're interested in the ultimate style guide for silver or gray hair, stay tuned because we are about to get right into it. Hello beautiful, welcome to The Beauty of Aging, a channel for every woman who is unapologetically growing bolder. I'm Angel, the founder of Maison 276 and the creator of the award-winning and innovative 3-step system for silver, gray, and blonde hair, a healthy way to brighten, cleanse, and rejuvenate the natural brilliance of your hair without the use of purple dyes. Today is another episode in our ongoing series on how to master the art of gorgeous silver or gray hair. And today I'm going to share tips on how to use wardrobe colors to complement your silver or gray hair. Gray hair is a neutral canvas and it allows you to wear a very wide range of colors, but some colors are better than others. Now it's important to note that all silver and gray hair is not the same. So identifying your unique hair tone is the first step in determining which colors best highlight your silver or gray hair. Your gray hair tone and mixture of colors is just like your fingerprint. No two are the same. It is truly unique to you. But in general, there are two types of silver or gray hair: the cool gray tones and the warm gray tones. Let's look at what's unique to each. Let's first begin with the cool gray tones, starting from darkest to lightest. The first category is what we would consider the traditional salt and pepper mix. It's pretty much a 50-50 mix between the silver, white, and black hair. Then we have the silver gray, where we're moving more into like a 60-40 or 70-30, with 60 to 40% being silver hair. And then you have the completely white hair, platinum, silver. This particular category has little to no black hair. Now, it's important to know some of us have all three of these categories depending on what part of our head you're looking at. For example, just looking at me face on, it would appear that I have 90% white hair. And that's true from pretty much here forward. But then once you get to the center of the crown, it goes more to a silver gray mix, which is why I had such a hard time finding clip-ins that actually matched my hair tone, because it was not one specific hair tone throughout my head. So that's another story for another day. Let me know if you want a tutorial on my ponytail clip-ins. Now the next category of grays are the warm tones, starting with the darkest mix, and that's the taupey gray. A lot of times brunettes will go from dark brunette to that taupey gray. And then we go to the stone gray, which is kind of like a pewter color. And then we go to the blonde gray, very warm and completely different than that silver white. The blonde gray is typically, as the name implies, many blondes go from blonde to that blonde gray. And so this category has some natural yellow overtones, which is why it's very important to use products that brighten and clarify the hair. Now let's move on to the colors that best complement each of these categories of silver and gray hair. Now starting with the colors that best complement the cool tones of silver and gray hair. First, gotta talk about the jewel tones. Jewel tones are perfect for the cool tone grays. They really make the silver, no matter how little or how much, they really make that silver pop. And as I'm talking through this, I'll show examples of each of those types of jewel tones, starting with the emerald green. Very bright and vibrant. And again, these colors look good on almost any skin tone, because we're talking about colors that really complement the hair, but they also complement many skin tones. So they're the emerald greens. And then of course, I wear a lot of very bright, deeply pigmented pinks. I really like the hot pinks, the magentas. I'm starting to get a little bit into purple, but even my purples lean a little more into pink. And then obviously sapphire blue. It is why I love denim so much because it has so many different ranges of blue. And finally, when it comes to jewel tones, you don't have to use the most saturated version. So it doesn't have to be bright and bold. A muted version of a jewel tone works just as well, which is why denim looks great with silver and gray hair. It's just a muted version of a very bright blue. And in fact, this beautiful wrap dress by Tracy J, put a link in the video. It's a woman-owned brand out of Northern California. It's a buttery soft fabric. Feels like a blend of cotton and cashmere, but it feels so wonderful. She has a variety of designs, dresses, pants, tops, the all-in-one. The belt wraps around. I love pairing it with the patent leather boots because the juxtaposition of this smooth buttery fabric with the high gloss on the patent leather, I really like. And by the way, if you're new to this channel and you're wondering why is everything long, it's because I'm 5'1". And I don't particularly like the fit of petite clothes. And so I do buy regular size clothes. I'm generally a US size 6. And I don't get a lot of things hemmed, honestly, because I feel like it messes with the way most items hang outside of pants. Of course, I get pants hemmed. Almost every time I've gotten it hemmed, I didn't like it afterwards. So if everything looks long on me, it's because it is, which is why I'm a high heel girl. Y'all know I love my stilettos. Now, I mentioned that I wear a lot of the amethyst, magenta, hot pink, very pigmented pinks. And here's a perfect example. Not only is this color a great jewel tone to complement those cool silvers and grays, this dress also has texture. So when you're thinking about color, also take texture into consideration. Because remember, because your hair is so multifaceted, that's a form of texture. And then if you have a fabric that also has texture, they can work together, but just make sure that they do, because you don't want the texture or the movement in your fabric to compete with the movement or texture of your hair. And when I say texture of your hair in this context, I'm not talking about wavy, curly, coily. I'm talking about the different variations of silver and gray that you have in your hair. If you have lots of streaks as opposed to pretty even mix, that's a type of texture, okay? Just wanted to clarify that. Getting back to one of my favorite colors, and it's not because I have these fantastic cowboy boots. Let's face it, these boots can have a vlog of their own, but this has a lot of movement, it has a lot of texture, and it really makes the hair pop. So here's a quick, easy exercise for you to just experiment with what you have in your closet and see if the colors that you have are complementing your silver or gray, or competing against your silver or gray, or as it relates to warm colors, are they reflecting too much yellow into your silver or gray? So here's the exercise. You're gonna do a wardrobe test with some of the items you already have in your closet. You're gonna take a selfie. The first thing we're gonna do is clean our camera. I cannot tell you how many great pictures go in the trash because the lens was dirty. Clean the front lens, and then also clean the entire camera. You want to make sure that you're not reviewing it through smudges. The other thing you want to do, you don't need a special light. Go to a window, open the window. We're going to do it right now. So you're going to take a selfie facing the window like this. Oftentimes people will stand with the window behind them, and that is a no-no for taking any type of photograph. So I'm gonna pretend that this is a window and I'm facing the window. So I'm gonna take this picture. Okay, and now I'm gonna take another one with the light behind me, and I'm gonna show you the difference. So that's the light in front of me, and then the other is the light behind me. Ignore the fan. These lights are hot. You can go into a personal summer at any moment. So that's just a quick experiment just to test some of the colors that you have in your closet and see whether or not they are really complementing your silver or gray hair, or if they're casting dull or yellow overtones. Okay, now let's get into the colors that best complement those warm tones of silver and gray. And I'll put those back up on the screen briefly. If you're a warm silver or gray, then you want to lean into earthy hues, burnt orange, mustard, coral, the rich deep reds like wine, cranberry, burgundy, the eggplant. And when it comes to neutrals, you want warm neutrals like caramel, taupe, and chocolate brown. Colors that typically might cast a yellow or brownish overtone on the cool silvers like me, but you know, I believe in breaking fashion rules. So even though I am a cool silver, I still like the occasional warm neutrals. This cognac colored faux leather dress is a perfect example of that. And so because I know these tones can sometimes cast a dull hue on silver or white hair, I'm really leaning all the way in and really embracing a monochromatic look, which is why when you're thinking about the tones that best match your silver hair, you also have to take into consideration your skin tone. And so this cognac color combined with my medium brown skin tone really creates a monochromatic look. And I'm leaning into that from head to toe, including the gold jewelry. But to provide a little more color balance and to cool down this whole warm monochromatic look, I'm adding my favorite new bag, my Teddy Blake Kim Stapato. This is a cool color. It's an olive green, so it really cools down this ensemble, and I love it. I think it's a perfect blend of two very good neutrals because the olive green is also a neutral, taupey, caramel, cognac colored, whichever color you want to call this dress. So remember, fashion rules are meant to be broken because at the end of the day, it's what makes you feel like the very best version of yourself. Now, let's hop into the classics because those color combinations look great whether you're a cool or warm silverista. Classic neutrals are color combinations that look great on everyone. We're talking black, navy, and of course a crisp white, and denim in all its spectrums from the dark wash to the light wash. And if you think maybe black is a little too harsh for you, try a charcoal or a dark gray. If navy you feel is too dark, then you can lean into a more jewel tone blue. But either way, the blacks, the blues, and the crisp whites look great on everyone. This particular outfit was inspired by something I saw on Kay Wright's channel. I get so many ideas from her channel on how to repurpose things that I already have. This is a blazer, a Zara blazer. It's about 2 or 3 years old, but it doesn't have buttonholes. It's meant to just be worn openly. And so I just crossed it over like that and belted it. Now the belt, this is my waist. The belt is high up, almost right under my bra, and it really gives it a nice elongated shape. I haven't worn this very much because I realized I didn't like the idea of not being able to button it, but it really gives a nice long profile in the back and a very sleek look. This could very much be a look that I would wear to a casual business meeting. Love this look, and you'll be seeing this out in the streets sometime soon because I've never worn this like this. I literally got the idea from watching Kay Wright. Whenever you watch any of my fashion vlogs, I always say go in your closet and play with your clothes. Mix and match things that you haven't mixed and matched before. Look at other fashion vloggers, and I just mentioned Kay Wright, Jeronika Mycia is another one, where you can get ideas on how to mix and match items in your wardrobe, because sometimes you don't need new clothes, you don't need more clothes, you need more creativity with the items you already have. Now, we've talked a lot about colors that work well for cool tones versus colors that work well for warm tones, but texture is also an important part when you are choosing fabrics. So texture could be something like the knitted dress that I had on earlier. It could be denim is considered a textured fabric, leather, wool. So play around with different textures, mixing cashmere and leather, denim and leather, and you'll create visual interest while also creating a modern, edgy, and sophisticated look. And just like textures, when it comes to pattern, again, because your hair has so much movement, you want to be very careful about patterns. I realized in creating this vlog that I actually do not have a lot of patterns. I didn't consciously not buy them, but as I was looking through my closet to find some literal examples, there were very, very few, and most of them you have actually seen in other vlogs. Because I feel like there's so much going on with my hair, I think I have subconsciously steered away from a lot of pattern in my clothing. So the few pieces I have, I absolutely love, and I love mixing them up with other things, so I get a lot of wear out of them. Now, last but certainly not least, let's talk about accessories. This is probably the area from a fashion perspective where I have the most room for improvement. I am a very, very basic stud, kind of simple loop person, and so I really had to stretch the boundaries of my comfort zone when it comes to purchasing non-traditional types of accessories. I'm more likely to err on not having enough than having too much, but I'm working on it. Now, these are not hard, fast rules, but if you have a cooler tone of silver gray hair, the jewelry tones that complement your hair most are going to be the silvers, the platinums, white gold, as well as jewel tone gemstones. And if you have the warmer silver gray tones, then you want to lean into the gold, the rose gold, copper, and other types of earthy metals. But again, you see, I've got gold jewelry on right now. So I would say experiment. I used to only wear silver jewelry, and honestly, it's just been the last couple of years that I've just started experimenting with gold costume jewelry. That was a very easy way, and is an easy way to kind of test, do I really like gold jewelry? And I do. For the past year or so, I've just been increasing my collection of gold costume jewelry. Nothing that's a really huge investment. It gives me more options to create more visual interest, and it definitely depends on what I'm wearing. If I take this outfit, for example, the buttons are actually silver, but I paired it with gold. But you can definitely mix metals. I think we've known that for a while now. And of course, not just jewelry, scarves, especially during the winter, you can play a lot with scarves. Add that bold pop of color. You know, wearing bright red suit might be too much, but wearing a fabulous red scarf can really, really set off an outfit. So experiment with scarves. Hats are also a way to accessorize. You guys know I just dipped my toe in the hat situation. I did like it. So we'll see if there are more hat options. We'll see if there are more hat options in my future. Our final tip is the most important of all, whether you're a cool tone silverista or warm tone, and that is embrace your own version of beautiful. Own your look with confidence. You could discard every fashion rule, every tip about which colors work best with what type of hair. If you rock what you love with confidence, then that exudes from the inside out. Because style ultimately isn't really about rules. It's about owning your own personal style and doing it with confidence. So having said all of that, wear what makes you feel amazing. Experiment with the colors, the textures, even patterns, to determine what works best for you. Take some selfies, stand in front of a window with great natural light, and see how the light and the fabric and all of that plays off of your gorgeous silver hair. So I'd love to hear from you. I want to know, what are your go-to color combinations? And what are your fashion tips for complementing your unique version of silver or gray hair? Remember, your silver or gray hair is a statement. So let your wardrobe amplify its beauty. And if you enjoyed these tips, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I especially love your comments. You know I love chit-chatting with you in the DMs. I always say the Beauty of Aging platform is for you. I always want to know what content you find valuable, what tips and what information from mastering the art of gorgeous silver hair, living fabulously at 50, 60, and beyond. This platform is here to serve you. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of the Beauty of Aging. Don't forget to join me for Coffee with Angel at 10 o'clock Eastern, where I stream live right here on YouTube, as well as on Instagram and Facebook. It's just a 20-30 minute chit chat about literally anything that's of importance to the woman who is unapologetically growing bolder. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you the next time on the Beauty of Aging.